Hey everybody, this is Lorelia doing a YouTube live. I want to show you a little something what I've been working on um, with with my private class. And just as the title reads, I'm going to give you a an abbreviated um, version of a current success that a client of mine had. So I have these classes every Monday. They're private classes. You won't see the information on my YouTube channel. But for those who invest in themselves and they take part in these classes, what I've been doing is what I've been talking about ever since last year, is to help people to go beyond the normal um, conversation of, or should I say, the normal next step after they rebuild their credit. Most people, um, the only goal is to either get to a particular credit score or to rebuild or restore their credit. And then after that, what they do is they get back on the rat wheel of consumer debt. And what that means is they will either go ahead and accumulate more debt that is going to allow them to not get anywhere further financially. And so what happens is that an individual will get out of debt to get back into debt, to get out of debt to get back into debt, and they will have no money working for them. And so I said in 2018 there were some things that I was going to roll out, and some people took action. So I'm going. That's what I'm here to show you, um, the power of leveraging your personal credit to do something more than just um, rebuild or restore your credit and get back into debt. A conversation that most credit professionals will not talk to you about, because really their concern only is to get you a very short-term strategy. And there's nothing wrong with that. For myself, um, I'm no longer, um, interested in people who just want short term. I'm not knocking those who want it. There's people for you. Like I said, there's credit professionals that will do whatever you like. They will sell you trade lines. They will give you CPN numbers. They will tell you that they have the magic, letter that you just sprinkle fairy dust on, and it's going to take you from a 400 credit score to an 800 credit score when you send this magic letter. And by all means, it's whatever floats your boat. But for those who want a little more, who've gotten to the point where they don't even know that this is possible. And so that is what I'm going to share with them, because unfortunately in life, what you don't know, you just don't know. And so it's not like this information is under a rock or hidden somewhere, but a lot of times, if you are not around conversations that will enlighten you financially, you just don't know that you can do so much. And so that's what I want to show you. So basically, a client of mine said, "You know what, Lorelia, I'm ready. I'm ready to take that leap." Um, we've worked on rebuilding her credit, and once she got to a point um, where she was in the 600s, because I did a video and I'll try to link it to this Facebook Live once it's over. Not sorry, YouTube Live once it's over. But I had said that in a video that the power of you beginning to build business credit for yourself, you can start doing it once you get into the range of 600. And so many people are striving for 700, but what they don't know is that you can do some things in the 600 range. And so that's what I'm going to talk about briefly in this YouTube live. So once she got to a point in the sixes, we started she had set up a business, she did all that, and we started to apply for some business credit. Now, let me put a disclaimer out there. The strategy that I taught her or showed her was leveraging your personal credit. Now, I'm a big advocate of, like I said, everyone has their own way of how they want to do things. And I'm not going to say my way is the only way, but this is the way that, you know, I'm only going to teach what I know. I'm not going to teach what I think may happen or what have you. And so I'm a big advocate of leveraging your personal credit to rebuild your business credit. There are a lot of people, I guess, who will tell you, screw your personal credit. Build your business credit, and is the stuff shady? That's not for me to say if it is, if it's not. But what you are doing is you're not going to get any place on a long-term basis if you totally and once again, this is for the new business owner, the one who doesn't have any business income, no revenue, or what have you. Now, for those business owners who do have, revenue, who do have income coming in a business, that's totally different. But I'm talking about the new person who has no business revenue coming in, no business income, and they want to start building business credit. The best thing for you to do is to leverage your personal credit, which is, you may have heard, is called doing a personal guarantee. And so once we were able to get her credit to a sufficient place in the 600s, that is what she started to do. She started to apply for business credit. Now, this video is not going to go into how she did it, but what I am going to share with you what she did once she did leverage it. So the one thing that I told her is that she told me what she wanted to do. Real estate was something that she wanted to get into. And so if you see in front of me, let me see if it's big enough, but I probably can zoom in a little bigger. Don't know how to do it, so I apologize. Yeah, I don't know how to make it bigger. So hopefully you can see what's on my screen. Um, So she is a first-time home buyer. Now, I don't know if you know this. I'm not going to assume that people do, but the first-time home buyer program that is administered by the government, FHA, will allow you to purchase a home with 3.5% down. So that is where you see this right here, this down payment, 3.5% down. You only need a minimum credit score of 580. And so remind you, she's already in the high sixes and she doesn't have any judgments, any bankruptcies, no public record information, no tax liens or what have you. And so with 3.5% down, the house that she's purchasing is 89,000. And I know in some parts of the country, 89, is probably a shack. And for 89 could possibly be 2 acres. And so in the Northeast, here in New Jersey, 89,000 can possibly buy you something. It can, depending on where in the state of New Jersey you're in, because this person is a local person. They're in the state of New Jersey, and so they're buying something for 89,000. And so if you put 3.5% of that 89, you will get the 3,000 and 115. So let me just say, with working with her, she has business credit of 3,500 and of a business credit line and a business credit card of 2,000. So she has over $5,500 in disposable business credit um, for herself. Now, imagine that. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Imagine you having $5,500 in business credit. What's the first thing a person would think to do once they have that? They're either going to ball out and say, oh, I'm going to get that nice, pristine Apple laptop with all the bells and whistles and what have you. Hey, I'm not one to shame anybody on what they want to buy. But this is a very strategic way of leveraging your personal credit. Because if you see right on top, these were different things that I was saying in, in the class, was that individuals who leverage their personal credit will win financially in the future if they leverage to obtain assets. And that was the whole point of the class, is the ability to use your credit to obtain assets. One may say that a laptop is an asset. It possibly could if it's a business and this, that, and the other. But this is what I know for certain. A piece of real estate that you can hedge against inflation. What does that mean? She's going to use it as a rental, so she will be renting it out. And with that being said, people always need a place to live, and so um, there you go. And real estate does appreciate in value. The Apple computer or laptop or what have you, it does not appreciate. What it's going to do is depreciate. And so for that person who's like, well, I can write it off on my taxes, yes, you could, but also keep in mind that you're taking depreciation. Every year your accountant is going to depreciate a certain amount each year, and there's going to be a tax write-off for you, but it will not do like real estate. Real estate, you get the best of both worlds. You get the depreciation part of it, which you can write off with your taxes, and then you get the appreciating portion of it, which allows you to build up equity. There's not too many assets you can do that with. You cannot do that with a car. You cannot do that with a laptop. And the list goes on and on and on and on. So my point to you is that this is what these are the conversations, high level conversations here. This is not for the weak at heart. So like I said, much bigger stuff we talking about. Like I said, I made a lot of points. Use your personal credit to fund your future investments. That's the whole point. And much and this right here, I'll even make a little bigger. Now that I know how to do, um, is that basically what I was saying. Do not use new credit to get into more debt and in more financial bondage. That's what more people do. And I even said this: most people just buy more stuff. They get into they get all this credit, they get access to all this money just to buy stuff. And I even find that when people will contact me and even say, Lorelia, I really, I want to get access to some business credit or what have you. And then when you dig a little deeper, it's just to buy stuff. It's just to buy stuff. And like I said, most credit professionals, they don't care. They really don't care what's your long term goal. They're very a lot of them are really just focused on a very a small area of your life, and that's to do what it is that you pay them for, is to restore your credit, rebuild your credit. So anything bigger than that, a lot of them are not, interested in. And so, like I said, just a quick overview of some top level conversations. So that is really all I have. Like I said, it says right here, leveraging her personal credit. These were all the points that I was making during the class. And so, can it be possible? It allows you to think, because, like I said, a lot of times in life, you just don't know what you don't know. And I mean, even for myself, throughout my younger years, getting access to credit, especially in the beginning, when I started, my journey financially. You get out of college, I was one of those, I didn't really have that much credit card debt in college because my mother was she was very protective of what I applied for, and she didn't want me to get stuck in that mold. So I remember my last year of college, me finally without telling my mother, I snuck and did get a credit card. So I have to say, safe to say, I did not graduate from college with a lot of credit card debt, which is really the song that a lot of people do say they experience. A lot of mine came once I became a young adult, once I graduated, and I got onto that rat wheel, and it's like I said, you don't know what you don't know. And so me coming out of college in the 90s, making close to, making over 40,000, which was, good in the 90s for someone out of school, out of college, and didn't really have that much student loan debt. Student loan debt was minimum. And if you don't know what you don't know. And so when I was accessing all this credit, imagine if I knew what I knew now, what I try to teach people. That's what I think is so great about the internet and YouTube, is that you do have the ability to share your knowledge and information with those who probably just don't know. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, wow, I never thought to do that. Like I said, don't beat yourself up. You just don't know what you don't know. But if you are someone who is interested, in the class, is really the credit to cash flow class. The link will be under this video. Take a look at the link. Um, and I'll give you a free webinar, briefly going over what you should expect in the class. And also, if you're on the journey of rebuilding your credit yourself, you're a DIYer, you're a do-it-yourself person. The dispute software, I'm still, still selling it. Go to self credit dispute software. The link will be below this video. And you can find more about that. And then if you just need help from myself, a lot of people reach out to me and they say, Lorelia, can you look at my stuff? And if that's something that you want me to do, information will be below this video, which will be services.yourmoneymentor.com. And I'm here to help. So I don't take it for granted, the information that I share here, because I like getting the emails where people are taking advantage, and also those who decide to take action and say, you know what, I want to take the next step. Because, like I said, free is good. Free is to provide you with an awakening. But at a certain point, you will hit a brick wall with free. You won't. And so, can you get far with free? You can. Process is going to take a little longer, and understand that free takes longer. Don't expect to get the same results as a person who has someone who is helping them along the way. So these results are results of someone not just watching a YouTube video, but someone saying, Lorelia, hold my hand and guide me along the way. So that is all that I have, and look forward to talking to you in the next video. Thank you.